Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking off our Tonewood glasses, we're putting down the Kool-Aid, and we're talking about 10 things that matter more than Tonewood. Now, if you guys find yourself being stressed out over all the options of body woods, neck woods, and fingerboard material, put that all to the side because here's 10 things that will actually impact your tone in a huge way. Here we go. Now, number one has to be the amp's EQ section. This is the most important and essential tool we have as guitarists to shape our tone. Once you master your amp's EQ section, you can literally throw every aspect of the guitar away. Certainly the Tonewood, but a lot of other aspects as well. Because once you master your EQ section, you can literally make your guitar sound like anything you want. All right, for number two, we're going to boil two different concepts down into one. They really deserve their own spots on the list, but I had to whittle it down to 10 things that are more important than Tonewood, and almost literally everything is. How dare you, sir? Now, this is a little bit of an underappreciated mod in my opinion. This is changing the speaker in your cabinet or combo amp. This can absolutely have a huge night and day difference on your tone, and if you pick the right speaker for the main genre that you play, can really enhance your tone in a beautiful way. And the second thing that goes along with changing your speaker, which really should have its own spot on the list, is cabinet type. Whether you have a combo, a 212, a 412, an open back, a half back, a closed back, all of these things have a massive impact on your tone, and certainly more than whether you have a thin strip of rosewood or maple on your neck. How dare you, sir? Now, number three on the list is one of my absolute favorites because it doesn't cost you any money. It's a simple technique that anybody can master. It's pick placement, pick angle, and pick velocity. So placement just refers to whether you pick down by the bridge or up by the neck. That's going to have a drastic impact on your tone. Pick angle is perpendicular to your strings or angled forward or backward. This will affect the attack of the note. And of course, velocity affects the dynamics. So these three things in concert really can affect your tone. Let's take a listen. Now, number four is, of course, the tone controls on the front of your guitar. They're not nearly as powerful as your amp's EQ section, but they're an essential part of an electric guitar and part of the original design to make this instrument more versatile. Now, I'm not saying that the tone control is more powerful than that stripe of Purple Heart on the back of your neck, but I think it's pretty close. Number five is the pickup selector. You guys just saw me using that. If you're more worried about how a specific kind of wood impacts your tone than utilizing the 5-way or 3-way switch, I would suggest reconsidering. There's so many different tones on tap just by using your selector. Take advantage of it. Now, the sixth thing that has more impact on your tone than Tonewood is mic placement. Now, I know what you guys are thinking at this point. Daryl, I've never mic'd up my amp. I don't need to, I don't want to. If I want to record something, I'll plug straight into my laptop with Bias Effects or Guitar Rig or Amplitube or something like that. Or maybe you have like a Helix or Kemper or Axe Effects or some more affordable floor unit. Well, guess what? Each one of those things has virtual mic placement settings. So whether you're doing it in a virtual environment or a physical environment, I think I'm one of the few YouTube channels that still actually mics up their amps. But anyway, whether it's physical or in the virtual environment, mic placement has a huge impact on tone. Now for me personally, if I want to capture a great clean tone, I tend to take the mic and move it closer to the center of the speaker. This really captures a lot of the high-end detail and gives you a great clarity, kind of shimmery, clean tone. Now, if I'm playing lead, I tend to take the mic and move it to the edge of the cone, and this gets rid of the harsh pick attack and just really smooths out all the notes. So those are a couple of sort of rules of thumb that I go along with, but definitely experiment whether, like I said, if you're using virtual or real, it has a huge impact on your tone. Check it out. All right, on to number 7. I think we all knew this was going to be on the list. This is, of course, guitar effects. As guitarists, we love our effects, we love our pedals, and of course it can take the core tone of your instrument and really transform it, flip it on its head to almost anything imaginable. Now, whether you're a minimalist or you like to play with a ton of effects, probably has something to do with the genre of music you like to play the most, but the reality is you can't escape effects. Any sort of recorded guitar you listen to on an album has been processed to the nines. Even if it's like a beautiful, pristine, clean tone or like a really basic rock tone, that's just the truth of the matter. It goes through mixers, it goes through engineers, it goes through mastering, and all of that stuff really affects the tone. It goes through EQ filters and compression and whatever studio magic happens to be performed on the guitar tracks. That's the nature of modern music, and you can't escape it. Number 8 on the list is pickup type. This has an absolute massive impact on tone. And if you take the amp out of the equation, it's the main impact or the main signature of the guitar comes from the pickups. And really I should include the pots because the pots can really change how a pickup sounds depending on the pot value. So anyway, whether it's a low output single coil, whether it's a Filtertron, whether it's a P90 Jazzmaster type single coil, whether it's a vintage humbucker or a high output humbucker. And really, I could include pickup height on this list too. I should really put that on a separate item, but I'll just include it here. Whether you slam your pickups down to the pick guard or to the body or raise them up to the string really has an impact on tone too. So all of those things have an absolute massive impact on tone and really override any sort of wood properties. Number 9 is put on a fresh set of strings. You would not believe the difference that makes. Take off those gunky, corroded, worn out, strings that have been on your guitar for a year or over a year. You would not believe how long some of my students leave their strings on. But anyway, put on a fresh set of strings. It'll be like switching bodies from mahogany to swamp ash. How dare you, sir? All right, you guys, we've arrived at number 10, and we're going to do a little bit of a fun experiment. So here's the scenario. You've never seen an artist before. You don't know what kind of guitar they play. You've never even seen a picture of them. You're just listening to them for the first time. Well, there's absolutely no way you can tell what kind of wood is in their guitar. It's just impossible. And given, the other things on our list, like, what kind of amp EQ they're using, what kind of cabinet or speakers they're using, where they're picking, the pick angle, the pick attack, where the tone knob is on the guitar, what pickup selector, if they're on their, middle or a combination or bridge, whatever, what kind of effects they're using, what kind of pickup is in the guitar, P90, humbucker, single, whatever. All those kind of things, there's just absolutely no way to know. So what we're going to do today is something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is pick one of the guitars off the wall behind me, and you guys have to guess what kind of wood it's made out of. Now, almost every wood is represented there. There's maple, there's basswood, there's mahogany with maple, there's alder with maple, there's straight mahogany, there's black carina there, I think even. So anyway, a bunch of different common woods are represented. I'm just going to play a quick 20-second clip with a few phrases. Here we go. you guys, do you have your guess locked in? Here we go. Here's the reveal. So for me, this just really illustrates the whole Tonewood debate. On one hand, you have a super high-end Japanese-made Gretsch, a true hollow body guitar, really the pinnacle of production guitars in a lot of ways. Just a beautiful, stunning instrument. And on the other hand, you've got the Danelectro, which has a body that isn't made of wood. It's pressboard, it's fibers pressed together, right? So just absolute opposites in every sort of way. And yet, when you plug them in, the differences are not that great. So in the end, for me, that's what it comes down to. Can I hear the differences between high quality A/B testing? Can I hear some of the differences between woods in my own testing? The answer is yes, I can hear a difference. Does it matter? Absolutely not. It's fully 100% academic. Find a guitar that plays well. Find a guitar that balances well. Find a guitar that's light. Find a guitar that has a neck profile that's perfect for you. It doesn't matter what the cost is. It doesn't matter what the brand is. Find something that's playable. That's the main thing. And the second thing is find a great amp. Between those two combinations, you'll be able to get any tone you can imagine. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'm off to start some fights on the internet. We'll see you there. Yeah.